Maybe if you raise it.
Or they just let anybody walk. The door was open. 4 or 3 people. Rotary meeting? Yes.
There we go. Good evening and welcome. Welcome to the second annual Birdie ISD Incubator Pitch Night. Welcome. I'm theater director here at Champion High School, and I've just been so fortunate to be able to see some of the awesome work these students are doing, and I was asked to stand up here and look silly, so you get to look at me for those of you who are not familiar with the Incubator program, let me just tell you a little bit about it. The students in Birdie Incubator class spend the entire school year working in teams to create a business. Now, that business is born out of the need for a solution to a problem in their own lives. So they've had the need, or they've had the help of the Birdie community in the form of coaches and mentors who've gone above and beyond to walk started, let me introduce to you the teacher of the Burning Incubator class, Miss Jenny Brewer.
Thank you all. Thank you so much for coming tonight. Thank you for the support of the Burning community. We couldn't do any of this without you. Just financial support, the mentors, the coaches who come to class, the people who listen to our pitches, the banks, everybody, just parents. We're so thankful. I wanted to make sure I said thank you to Sean Bean, who is our community champion. He helps us recruit people and comes into class and helps the kids with their pitches as well. And next is I wanted to thank all of our mentors. They're all listed up here. All of the mentors are partnered with a team. So Sharon Ramey, Paul Ramey, Ross Partlow, Derek Schreiber, Julia Brewer, Ty Young, and Glenn Coward. They were just instrumental this year in helping all of our teams get to this point. They worked with them all year long and helped them through the process, as well as all of our coaches who've been in and out of our classrooms. Just, again, we couldn't do it without you. I also wanted to say thank you to my partner in crime over there, Denise Stripling. She's a co-teacher with me for this class, and has been fantastic. I couldn't do it without her. I also wanted to thank Avi, Marty Nash, Mr. Reichling, Ken Reichling up in the booth, Jeff Vogel, Lisa Hamilton, and Lindsay Berkey. Again, thank you guys all for helping make this night fantastic. Thank you video, that would be wonderful.
Thank you, Mr. Carlo, for helping us get our act company off the ground and introducing us to people. That has been very helpful with the whole process of making our acts.
And thank you for always being on call, being able to answer any questions that we have, and aiding us in things that we didn't understand and didn't know just yet. And we really look forward to working with you and expanding our company in the future. Thank you.
I'm Mr. Coward. This is the Bonsai Chef team, and we just wanted to thank you for all the help and support that you've given us.
And without you, Bonsai Chef wouldn't be here today. So we'd like to thank you once again for all the stuff you've done for us.
Thank you. You've helped us grow from like a group of just high schoolers to a fully capable and functional team.
And guiding us all throughout this incubator program for pushing to our limits and breaking those barriers that hold us back and basically improving Bonsai Chef and improving ourselves as well. Thank you again, Mr. Coward.
Hi, Julia. We just wanted to thank you for being the best mentor ever. You have helped us so much in just this very confusing process of starting a business, creating our website, and getting our books on Amazon. You've just been such an amazing help, and we couldn't have done any of this without you.
And a big thank you to our teacher, Coach Brewer. You really helped us become young entrepreneurs and really made us super interested in business in our future, and really helped us develop those skills of presenting, customers, and you're the best. Thank you.
Hey, Mr. Young, I wanted to thank you for taking your time this year to work with us, take us on field trips, and just be a great mentor and help us win. Thank you.
Hello, Mr. Young. Thank you for doing everything you can to help us succeed and to better understand the world of business. Thank you.
Thank you for being someone that we can all look up to and helping us along the way. Thank you so much.
Hey, Mr. Schreiber, thank you for all the time that you've spent helping our group. You've really given us some good insight on how we can best solve the problem that we've been working on. Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Schreiber, for all your insight and input on creating businesses and helping us grow as a team. We really appreciate you.
We wanted to say thank you to Ms. Ramey, our favorite and best mentor, because we couldn't have done it without you. We have all the ups and downs in this company that could exist, but without you, we wouldn't have made it through it. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Ramey, for all the early morning chai lattes, Caesar salad, and meetings. Thank you for all the happiness and joy that you give us week long.
Raymond, I just want to say thank you for all the knowledge and wisdom that you've instilled in us. And I thank you for what you've done to help us in this class. And without you, what we've gone to today would not be possible.
Thank you so much for everything you've done for us. All those meetings at Denny's really helped us come together as a group and a company. And without your support and all the wise words you've given us, we've really grown, and we're happy to see where we are today. It couldn't have been done without you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you again, Mr. Campbell.
Thank you for all the knowledge and wisdom that you've instilled in us.
Thank you so much for everything you've done for us.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you for all the happiness and joy that you give to our group. We love you.
But of course, tonight would not be a success without also the financial support of so many throughout the community. So I think we have a slide here mentioning all of our sponsors. Look at that. They went all around. Yeah, look at all those amazing sponsors. We have gold, platinum. There you go. I would read them out, but I don't have the list. But there they are. It's wonderful to have so many special visitors here tonight, and including our own district superintendent, who happens to be here this evening, Dr. Thomas Price. Thank you for being here. So wonderful. All right, so y'all ready to get down to business, as they say? Yeah. Let me introduce to you our judges this evening. From Bird Imports, Mr. Bill Bird. Mr. Will Hawkins, and Stephanie Chandler, Jacksonville, Mr. Rich Senna, Bernie ISD School Board Member, and Justin McKenzie, CEO of Bernie Kendall County Angel Network. You have a heavy task ahead of you, as we have 6 groups who will be presenting their ideas tonight for a chance to win almost $30,000. I'm so excited to be here to see it all happen, right? These students have put on a lot of hard work throughout the year, and so now each group is going to get 10 minutes to present their ideas, and then an opportunity for the judges to ask them some questions and figure out how this all works. Then, after all of the groups have presented, we'll take a quick intermission and give the judges time to make their decisions, and then we'll see where we end up. So, our first group tonight, are you ready? Do we have a drum roll or something out there? Our first group tonight is called Reckless Cowboy, made up of 2 students from CHS, Aaron Basham and Nate Mayo. Let's hear it for Reckless Cowboy.
We are a Reckless Cowboy Hat Company. I'm Aaron Basham. I'm the CEO, I'm co-founder, and I'm social media executive.
And I am Nate Mayo, co-founder, CFO, and COO.
So, entertaining our problem. So our problem was people in our target market, which we'll talk about in a sec, don't have accessibility to vintage Western wear. A lot of vintage Western wear is being sold in thrift stores. It's not being sold in high quality ways. So we decided to create high quality clothing, and doing that through selling hats first to get to the vintage Western wear apparel business. So what we started to do was, realize that a lot of people that I knew were wanting vintage Western wear clothing, and it wasn't being sold anywhere but thrift stores, so it was all low quality stuff.
So for our solution, we created Reckless Cowboy Hat Company as an entryway into the Western apparel industry.
The Reckless Cowboy story. So me and Nate last year were in Miss Brewer's entrepreneurship class, and she talked to us about this class called Incubator, where we can create a business. And it clicked in my head a couple days afterwards that a lot of people were asking me about the certain style of hat that I was wearing and the certain style of clothing that I was wearing, where I was getting it. They were wondering, well, I can't find that on the internet, I can't find that when I go into Western wear stores such as Billy's and Wheeler's. Where can I get that style of clothing? And I was telling them every single time, oh, I thrifted this, oh, I got it at a Goodwill. So I realized that this was in high demand, but in low supply. So we decided to create Reckless Cowboy Hat Company to, meet those needs.
For our first order of hats, we ordered 23 hats for $17.50 and a 20-cent one-time embroidery fee, so our cost of goods sold was $402.70. And then we sold all 23 of those hats for $30, giving us a gross profit of $690, and then a net profit of $287.30, and a profit margin of 41.63%. And then on our second order of hats, we ordered 24 for $15, giving us a cost of goods sold of $360. And so far, we sold 19 of those with a gross profit of $532, a net profit of $247, and a profit margin of 46.42%.
So these first order hats you see on the top, we got those about a month and a half ago. We sold out of those within an hour. And those were all sold through word of mouth, through our social media and through our Instagram page. And then the ones right here on the very bottom, you see the financials right there. We got those in yesterday on Monday. Started selling on Monday, and we sold 19 right off the bat. We got 24, so we have 5 left, and you'll see a picture of those in a second. So, target customer. So, let me explain this picture right here. This guy right here, as you can see, he's wearing our hat. We sold this hat to a guy in Fredericksburg, and he happened to be at a basketball game that night, and asked a lot of people for their phones. He wanted to get a cool picture, thought it would be funny, thought it was a cool picture. And a photographer at the basketball game was able to capture this awesome picture right here. And I wanted to put on the slide because it really captures who our target customer is. And that is a 14 to 26-year-old male who values hard work off of manual labor. And they like to, work hard, but they like to party hard, but they like to have more fun. And they often spend their off days partying, riding in rodeos, and making decisions that will always result in the most fun. So, when you hang out with our customer, our target market, you're going to make good decisions, but you're going to make fun decisions more importantly.
So as Aaron kind of talked about a little bit, we had a very early success selling all 23 of our first order of hats in under an hour and a half.
Total addressable market. So right here, we have 615 18-plus rodeos a year. We have 500 youth rodeos a year, 700,000 cattle farms in the U.S., and with 3 to 4 cattle hands being average on each ranch, that equals 4,534,500 people, as well as 15,000 contestants and 19,500 contestants in adult rodeos. And these people right here, obviously, are our target market. So if we have market penetration at 5% of 4,569,000, we're reaching 228,450 people. And right here is the hats that we were talking about for our second drop, our second delivery that we just had. We ordered 12 of these tan and 12 of these black. And with the market penetration at 5%, with this amount of numbers, we come in at, if we sold everything at $30, which we sold our first hats at, we made just under $2 million. Or just under $3 million.
Service addressable market, so 45% of people in the Bernie area ages 14 through 26 will be able to be serviced, and that's about 5,000 people who fit our target market.
So competition. I really like this slide right here because it shows our competitors who aren't going to be our competitors for very long. Due to the fact that Whiskey Bat Hat Company, Rowdy Hat Company, and Red Bear Hat Company are all doing the same thing that we're doing currently, but they're not doing the same thing that we're going to be doing within a couple of months. Because all these companies right here, they sell hats, and they have very little apparel, and I've bought a couple shirts from both Red Bear Hat Company and Whiskey Bat Hat Company, and their shirts are just not great quality. They don't specialize in shirts, and we would like to specialize in apparel. We would like to be a branding business, and we figured becoming an entryway into hats solely to start off would be a great way to catch the eye of people than rather shirts. So what we did is we hopped on what they did, started selling hats first, but we're going to be having much more such as jackets, vests, sweatshirts, shirts, even pants. and other apparel like that. So thank you guys very much for being here. Investors, please don't be reckless. I want y'all to invest in us. We want y'all to be successful, and we hope that you invest in Reckless Cowboy Hat Company.
Thank you, and we look forward to expanding our business with you.
Okay, judges, you now have 5 minutes to ask as many questions as you need to.
Yes, sir.
You said you had $3 million in profits.
So I was saying if we were to be able to get a market penetration at 5% of our total addressable market, then that would be our sales. He asked, was the just under $3 million that I mentioned, was that in sales or in profit? So I like that question a lot because obviously being a clothing company, we expect others to come in, and especially with new trends coming in that we're hopping on, a lot of other people are going to realize that trends are happening, so they're going to come to the market as well. Our thing is that we describe a lifestyle right off the bat. Within our name, you realize that this is a lifestyle they're talking about. With Red Dirt Hat Company, they're talking about a location. They're talking about, Red Dirt, Texas, like the Red Dirt country, such as the Hill Country made a hat company. With Rowdy Hat Company, it's not a big name. It's not something that catches your eye. It doesn't describe a lifestyle. Whiskey Bend, describes an activity, but it doesn't describe a lifestyle. We describe a lifestyle that is glamorized, especially in Texas and in the South, and we think with that, we're capturing an audience really quickly. So we have an Instagram page currently. We only started that because our target market uses Instagram the most out of any social media. TikTok as well. We haven't created a TikTok yet and other social media solely because of the fact that we're selling out of hats too fast. We want to, while we have a bigger inventory of hats, because right now obviously we're a little short on money being high school kids. So what we would like to do is, as we're making more money, we'll have more hats. We're not selling out as quickly because we have 50 to 100 hats. Then we have supply for people who want our hats instead of them coming to us saying, commenting on TikTok, oh, I want these hats, where are they at? And we're like, well, we don't have them. So we would like to wait till we have a higher inventory. But currently we have an Instagram page called Reckless Cowboy Hat Company. It has just above 100 followers. If you go follow us, you get a free sticker, which you'll see in a second. Right there, in the middle of those two hats, you get a free sticker, put them on coolers, fridges. So yes, sir, that'll answer your question.
So how much money would you need to raise to make this like a viable business where you guys could take enough draw to cover kind of your salaries and things like that? How much money would you want from investors?
We have 2 minutes remaining.
Honestly, we would like anything that we can take right now, currently. Obviously, with supply chain issues going in because of COVID and everything, prices have skyrocketed. So something in thousands obviously would be great. 5,000, 2 to 7,000 would be ideal. But anything really helps. I think honestly, if we can get that amount of money, we'll be able to buy a lot of product, and that's really when our expansion starts, because then we'll be able to have a website, we'll be able to do stuff called geofencing, where if you're in a certain area, you get certain ads. So, I'll go to a rodeo, and I'm scrolling through Instagram, and obviously I'm at a rodeo, I'm at a target market, so I'm scrolling through Instagram, and I get an ad about Reckless Cowboy. So I think that with that, it'll help us expand a lot more.
Last question. So you've made roughly $500-600 net profit on the hat sales that you had, the 23 and the 21. I don't remember exactly the numbers, but with that $500-600, y'all, and y'all ran out of money, ran out of hats so quickly. Why didn't you just buy more hats?
So we actually did. Obviously, we got these two right here, or these two sets. So we keep buying more hats. There's a little bit of a wait for some hats, a little bit longer wait for others. But we get the hats within 1 or 2 weeks. So when we got these hats right here, we sold out right away. We wanted to get more, and we found out that we couldn't get them for another 3 or 4 months. So then we went ahead and pivoted and got these hats right here. So,
Just a point of clarification. So your marketing is all social media right now. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Currently, we would like to.
And who does your production?
Yes, Carol Reston Distribution. She's right outside of Mary's Tacos. If y'all ever need any shirts that you want done, just shout her out. She did a great job with ours. As you can see right here, actually, Name was wearing one of the shirts that we ordered. It's a game guard. And yeah, she did a great job on those, but we get them at Reston Distribution. Thank you guys very much.
Great idea. I guess I feel like I might fit into that demographic there, that hardworking man, the partying, hardworking man. All right, thank you, boys. All right, our next set of presenters is from Bernie High School. This group is made up of Connor Wall, J.P. Walker, Juan Castro. Let's hear it for Bag the Smell.
So first off, I want to start by saying thank y'all so much for coming out tonight. We are Bag the Smell, and we are here to bench that stench. So who's bagging the smell? I'm John Paul Walker, CEO.
I'm Connor Wall, CFO. I'm Juan Castro, CPO.
Our story. We've all grown up playing sports. Juan's played soccer, me and Connor both played basketball. And how we actually came up with this product is one day, Juan came over to my house and left his bag in my car for hours. With the sun beaming down, once we got back in there, it smelled horrible.
It wasn't that bad.
Yeah, whatever. So here we have a video that illustrates what we could have done if we had the bag in this situation.
2 hours later.
Oh, dude, what's that smell? What, bro? Oh, dude, put it in this bag. Bro, does it really smell that bad? Yeah, put it in there. Oh, yeah, there you go. Bag the smell.
And that's how you bag the smell.
So, the problem we run into as athletes is not having a place to put our smelly clothes after practice or a game. And with the average temperature in San Antonio during the summer being between 93 and 96, which could make the inside of your cars upwards of 120 degrees, that's going to create unbearable smells. Our bag is here to make time with your smelly clothes more enjoyable.
The solution to bagging the smoke. We have created a bag that contains all the smoke from your dirty clothes, and this bag is made out of a heavy-duty synthetic nylon, a thin layer of polyester coating, and a heavy-duty zipper.
So our process began by us doing lots and lots of research to figure out which materials would work best for our bag, holding and trapping the stench. So we found a carbon fiber and a polyester coating, and we worked with both materials. And we began by trying to learn how to sew, and the process didn't all work. We messed up multiple sewing machines, and that's when I took it to my grandmother to make the bags for us. She made all of her prototypes for us, and we quickly learned after tests that the carbon fiber was not effective at all, but the polyester did the job. And this is Juan. He used the bag throughout his entire season in soccer, and he took it to the state championship.
Yeah.
Okay, so as far as feedback, I brought this bag along with me. through the Hidalgo tournament, the regional tournament, and the state tournament, and so far it's done its job. I passed it around through a lot of athletes, including my teammates, which I'll tell you what are stinky. Stinky clothes, stinky cleats, stinky, you name it, and it's done its job. There's been no smoke protruding, and I have told them about the cost, which is $60, and they have had no issues with it.
So the list goes on of people who can use this bag. We have over 100 million potential customers in the United States, and from hunters, mothers with children, travelers, what we really want to target is athletes, and there are over 8 million of them in the United States. So our competitor is a company known as Cookies. They're a very successful company, but their target market is the cannabis industry. And their bags are sold at $150, and that's what's going to set us apart, is our low prices and completely different target market. No athlete wants a bag that's known for hiding weed. So there are over 826,000 high school athletes in Texas, and we're going to start by targeting the 1,000 that are in Birmingham.
So as far as marketing Bag to Smo, we have already gone up to the athletic director for Bernie ISD, Stan Leach, and he said he was more than happy to work with us, which we will further work with once we start selling the bags. We have, all three of us, over 5,000 followers on Instagram. We could use that to our advantage, making a post shouting us out. We can get in contact with influencers to help advertise through Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok, and we could do pop-up shots at club tournaments, because I know all of y'all have some stinky children. And you can visit us at TikTok, Bag to Smo.
So our cost, if we order all of the materials from the United States and have our bags made in Comfort, Texas, it's going to cost $9 a bag to make. Looking at the forecast, if we sell 1,000 bags by the end of the year at $60, we will have made $60,000. Looking at towards 2024, at the end of the year, we plan to sell 800,000 bags by improving marketing strategies and doing branding deals. So we would have raised our price to $65, but that means we would have made $52 million. And by the end of 2025, we plan to sell 2 million bags, meaning we would have made $130 million.
So here are the expenses that we could possibly run into within the first year. First, you have legal fees of $10,000. Then you have advertising and web design of $25,000. Then you have inventory for 1,000 bags for $10,000. And then operating expenses for the first 6 months of $10,000. So in total, $55,000. Thank you. We are Bag to Smo.
Great presentation, gentlemen. All right, judges, now you have 5 minutes again to ask any questions you need.
Question, since you're going to start off by targeting high school athletes, and I'm assuming in our Hill Country area, Central Texas, South Texas, can you customize the bags to fit the color of the schools that you want to do business with?
Yes, sir. So after talking to Stan, we plan on adding the logos and numbers to the bags that we have made. If once we bring them to him, they're more than willing to do that. Yes, sir.
Can you go back to the last slide on that one? So there, it looks like your inventory is $100 a bag, if I understood that correctly. Is that right? Or what was the inventory cost?
So we have 1,000 bags, so 10.
So $10. So your margin is $50 per bag at the $60 price?
Yes, ma'am.
I appreciate you talking about where it would be made. Who in Comfort have you gone out there and built trial samples with somebody that can build them?
So we haven't made any yet, but we have talked to OWLE, and those are the people that we're looking at working with.
Is this going to be a direct-to-consumer marketing idea, or are you going to open up a wholesale market?
So I think like we could sell them to the schools, and then from then they could put it to their students and athletes, and then also maybe get into Dick's or Academy, and then sell it to other people that way.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
So you have two products here. One has a zipper, one doesn't. Tell me a little about that.
Yes, sir. So originally we were working with the Velcro, and it didn't work. That is the carbon fiber bag that we originally made. It didn't work at all. So we were planning on continuing to work with zippers.
And how do you know, so when you think it didn't work, how do you know, I mean, how do you have a smell about it?
So using the carbon fiber, the weave was too, it frayed way too much and the smell just retreated through. But with this other material, the inside, it hasn't gone through at all.
Because you've got such a big margin in this product, by approaching school districts and booster clubs, have you thought about a financial partnership or arrangement to incentivize them to give you access to their athletes?
Yes, sir. We'd be more than willing to partner with other companies.
On your expense slide, do you plan on paying yourself?
So first we plan on paying ourselves back, and then from then we'll just have to see where it goes. And yes, sir.
So would each of y'all be involved in the daily operations?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
2 minutes remaining.
Thank you.
So what's next for Back to Smell? If you win money here tonight, what are you going to do with it? What's your use of funds? Next step?
Yes, sir. So we're still continuing to work on startups like our websites and things like that, but we're really trying to start getting bags made and start selling. That's our next goal.
And what's your strategy for dealing with competition coming into the marketplace? How are you going to keep competitors from coming in?
So we look on getting a patent to patent that look of the bag. And also, as you can see from our competitors right now, I feel like they wouldn't want to shift because they already have such a big success in their market. So I think we would stay on top in that area.
So what do you think is the biggest challenge?
Honestly, the biggest challenge was, I guess, finding an alternative for the inside of the bag, and also learning how to sew and finding somebody to sew. It was Connor's grandma helped a lot.
So it would definitely be sewing would be our hardest thing, and finding materials and people to do it for us, because a lot of things have gone overseas for all that in that complete industry. So it was definitely difficult now.
And that is time. Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you.
And I think you should charge extra for the grandma touch. Grandma's touch. There you go.
All right. Our next group is made up of 4 Champion High School students: Ishi Estacio, Ethan Hoffman, Leo Petriu, I think I'm saying that completely wrong, Petriu, Ty Alexander, and 1 BHS student, Chase Baldera. This group is called Bonsai Chef.
Hi everybody, while we're getting this set up, I wanted to give a few thank yous. My first thank you is to Mr. Glenn Cower, the Capability Source. He's been a tremendous help as our mentor. Second thank you is going to be to Mr. Brian Adams of Emilium, who helped us with all of our software development concepts. And our third and final thank you is going to be to Mrs. Hamilton, Coach Brewer, and Ms. Stripling back there for making this all possible. I've been to a lot of colleges because I'm a senior this year, and they've all tried to entice me with different ideas on how their business programs work. And one of their key talking points is that they offer this sort of program to juniors and seniors. And I think it's awesome that as juniors and seniors in high school, as opposed to college, we get to do this kind of program. So, thank you. So, with that, we are Bonsai Chef, and we're developing an app that's about to blow up the way. People cook in their kitchen by helping them find new recipes to create with the ingredients they have at home, not the ingredients they need from the grocery store.
Okay, so let's talk about the problem. Many people don't know how to cook, and that's okay. You're gonna have to start somewhere. Our Bonsai Chef app is going to fix that problem by providing you easy recipes, easy access to recipes, and easy recipes. So let's talk about the next problem. So our next problem, this problem is probably common for all of you. You already know how to cook, but you just don't know what to make. Whether you're out of time, out of ideas, out of ingredients, or you have picky eaters. So what you need is an app that is going to help you reclaim your cooking experience and time, because both are valuable. And that's what Bonsai Chef is here to do. So how did we get to this problem?
As a CMO, I've interviewed over 300 people, some with the prototype and some without. Now, let's look at some of the key takeaways of the feedback that I got. People want a core service that fits their needs instead of a bunch of features. Secondly, people are willing to spend $9.99 a month for our app. And lastly, we've narrowed it down to 2 target personas. Let's see what they look like.
All right, so looking at our target personas, one is going to be Sarah Smith. She's a mom, mid-40s, has kids, picky eaters. On the other side of the spectrum is Chad Guy, fresh out of college, mid-20s, really focused on his calorie intake. Now let's dive more into Sarah Smith, all right? So as you can see from this top picture, she's surrounded by chaos, kids, all right? She wants something convenient to help her cook. That is where Bonsai Chef comes in. And looking at her pantry, she has a wide variety of ingredients to choose from. Now, as for Chad Guy, looking at this top picture, his pantry is a lot more limited, right? He's got, the basics, the things he thinks he needs, protein powder, creatine, chips, and then looking at his car, these are the things that he gets after his workout. He's got the takeout from Domino's, he's got Panda Express, all things that are gonna help with his calorie intake, but really hurt his budget. So, let's look at where these people come from.
So, thanks to Mr. Coward at Capability Source and the census, we were able to find general traits that both Sarah Smith and Chat Guy exhibit and narrow these down to 5 locations. For Sarah Smith, this is Boerne, Texas, and Cody, Florida. For Chat Guy, this is Boston, San Francisco, and Austin. By focusing on these target markets, we can figure out what they're receptive to and how we can best meet their needs in order to focus on our marketing strategy nationwide to best meet our customer base. So who exactly are we competing against for these customers?
So there's a lot of competition in this industry. That means there's a lot of money to be made. So who's competing for Sarah Smith? Cookbook. She has a lot of cookbooks. But cookbook solves the need, but this doesn't really work for Sarah Smith. I mean, which would you rather search through? This or this? In addition, doesn't this recipe look mouth-watering to you? I mean, I would like to eat that. So if you look at the instructions and ingredients, well, I don't even have that ingredients. How am I going to make that? So that is the daily inkling of Sarah Smith have to go through every single day. So let's see who's competing for Chad Guy. For Chad Guy, it's HelloFresh. HelloFresh provides good recipes and good ingredients. Again, this doesn't really work for Chad Guy. Chad Guy orders from HelloFresh, gets out of work at 5, and goes to the gym all the way to 6:30, and then hangs out with his girlfriend all the way to midnight. I don't know what's going on. So, all the way to midnight. And by the time he gets home, there's a HelloFresh sitting right in front of his door, and then, sorry. So HelloFresh is sitting right in front of their door. And now HelloFresh is now HelloDrugs. So Chad Guy's gonna be like, chicken and rice. So, for Bonsai Chef, this is going to meet their needs. For all the solutions that they have provided, it's not going to work, but Bonsai Chef, again, is going to meet their needs. Let's see how.
To show you our growth over the past year, we've included our 3 first renditions of Bonsai Chef. So I'm sure you can tell which is oldest. That one farthest from me is going to be the one we created in December, that one in January, and this one in February. As you can see, as we've developed and conducted more interviews and gained more experience on how to program our prototype, it's gotten a lot better looking, its quality has increased, and more. So let's look at the features that Bonsai Chef has. That right there is our current prototype and some of the features we'd like to include. So the first feature that we'd like to talk about is our easy-to-update digital pantry. We differ from competitors who try and offer the same solution because instead of making you type in some ingredients, Bonsai Chef keeps a comprehensive catalog of all the ingredients you have in your pantry. That allows you to optimize your recipes and better use your pantry. So how are you going to put ingredients into Bonsai Chef? Well, I'll tell you how. The first way is with the receipt. You're going to be able to scan in your receipt, and using OCR technology, we can put all of these ingredients into Bonsai Chef. The second way that you can scan into Bonsai Chef is computer vision. We're going to allow you to take a picture of your ingredients, and Bonsai Chef will know, okay, that's 2 potatoes and an onion. I don't know what you're going to make with that, but you have it. So what can you actually do with all those ingredients once you have them in Bonsai Chef? I'll tell you what you can do. Recipe filtering. Recipe filtering is the second core component of Bonsai Chef. What it allows you to do is search and filter through recipes based on a multitude of different things, such as time it takes to create, how many people you're feeding, what time of day it is, what kind of cuisine you want, religious diet, allergies, and more. So the goal there is to provide a list of recipes that are uniquely suited to you, the customer, right? And so what can you finally do with all those recipes once you have them? Well, say you have picky eaters, say you're hosting a party, or you're Chad guy and you're trying to impress your girlfriend who you just told you, that you can cook. And that might not be true, but you're trying to do it all the same, right? So you can send out a poll of the recipes you'd like to create to your friends and family, and they can send back results, allowing you to find an option that suits everyone's needs, ensuring that there are no more arguments and no more chaos. Solving Sarah Smith's needs and making sure that Chad Guy is not a girlfriend. Okay, so how much is this going to cost?
So let's look at the budget for the launch year. This is going to be split between app development, monthly costs, and the marketing budget. Starting with app development, it's going to cost us about $96,000, and we got this number from Mr. Brian Adams at Emilium Software Company. The marketing budget is $90,000, and this is split 50 and 40. The 40 is going to go towards tech booths at tech events in order to help advertise Bonsai Chef. The 50 is going to go towards our target locations so that we can reach our customers. Now, we'll include monthly costs in there. Those are going to be server costs, app enhancements, and Google advertisements, and those will equal about $16,000, all for a total cost of around $200,000. Now, that's quite a bit of money, but it's nothing compared to how much we're making it back. So,
can we go back a few slides, please? Right here.
Okay, so how are we making that money back? Well, we have a few ways. The first one is a monthly subscription fee of $9.99 that kicks in after a free trial period. The second, and we hope to build partnerships as we continue to grow. So what this looks like is engaging with companies like grocers like DoorDash, Ship, and other delivery services so that we can automatically transfer those to your inventory and make the user experience much cleaner. The other one is integrative advertising. We're going to have to get the recipes from somewhere, and we can hope that we can strike a partnership which would help integrate those recipe websites into our app. Patenting, which we'll touch on in a bit, and finally voluntary data collection. So all of this these are basically the revenue based on market penetration, and if you focus on just 10% of the market in our 5 locations, that's about $1 million. So keep in mind, this is a conservative estimate of our revenue because this is only with subscription, and this is only given the people that we have identified. It's not nationwide, and it's not other potential customers, and that's still quite a lot of money.
Right. So that's a lot of money to be made. So you might be asking, why doesn't somebody else do this? Well, I'll give you 3 key reasons that are barriers to entry, which is our unique value proposition, our connections, and our patent development. I'll go step by step. So our first one is going to be our unique value proposition. That's cooking with what you have. Bonsai Chef promises that instead of trying to go and make you go to the grocery store to pick up ingredients like a cookbook or cookbook website would, we are instead going to optimize your pantry to find recipes you can create right now. Secondly is our experience and connections. We've spent the last year in this class, every other day basically, pouring hours into this project, developing connections, and working on our prototype, as well as other functions of Bonsai Chef. And third and finally is our patent development. We hope to patent our polling feature because none of our competitors have this in the market, and if we can capture it, we can ensure that we are solving Sarah Smith's needs and no one else's for a long time coming. And if it were to come to it, we can also turn our patenting into a source of revenue because we can license that polling feature out. So we believe that polling feature will protect Bonsai Chef in the future. So with that, I'm Ethan, the CEO.
I'm Ishi, the COO. I'm Chase, the CMO. I'm Todd, the Human Relations Officer.
And we are Bonsai Chef. Oh, my bad. And we are Bonsai Chef. Thank you. Any questions?
Very nice presentation. Judges, you now have 5 minutes to ask any questions you like.
Okay, so your other app competitors, what kind of revenue do they generate? Any idea?
Currently, none of them are very transparent. So competitors we have are nonprofits like there's one in the UK that's oriented around the environment, but then locally, domestically, we have competitors like Cooklist, Shuffling, and Weight Watchers. I know that Weight Watchers turns a profit, but I don't believe that the other two competitors do because they don't offer a very good user experience.
So, I'm sorry, so $10 a month?
Yes, sir.
How many people would drop off in a year after, do you have any ideas on that?
No, sir, we would have to conduct market research.
So you took my attrition rate question, because you're dealing with an app, and you're obviously looking at volumes, do you know what it's gonna cost to obtain a customer?
So we've talked about conversion rate before, and currently what we're looking at is that marketing campaign. Instead of trying to go about a national marketing campaign where we basically have a negligible impact, we would like to go through those 5 target markets that Leo described and basically have more of an influence there. So for example, if we launch an ad campaign in Bernie, our ads are going to be seen more than if we launch an ad campaign in New York City. And we believe that if we can kind of gauge the success of our ad campaigns, then we can better invest in our marketing as opposed to just throwing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks.
Thank you. So just a couple more questions. Will this have a scanning capability to be able to scan what you already have in your cover?
Yes, sir. So that's like our computer vision. What that means is instead of having to sit there and basically check out as if you were at the grocery store, you're able to take a picture of all your products on the wall and you can review and go, okay, yes, I have that box of pasta, I have that box of Cheez-Its, and so on and so forth. And so that cuts out a lot of the hassle of having to sit there and scan a barcode over and over and over again to update your pantry.
So that the app will know that as well when creating your recipe?
Yes, sir.
And then my last question, you talked about a polling feature and sharing that for polling your families and friends. Do they need to be using the app to participate in the polling feature, or is that outside the app?
No, sir, they don't need to be using the app. What we currently plan is something called a web API. So a lot of our app is basically pulling information from the web. Like for example, our recipes, we plan to pull from third parties in partnership with them for revenue. But basically what it would do is create a temporary page and allow them to vote, and then that data would be sent back to the app.
Okay, thank you.
So you're going to be collecting a lot of really interesting data about how people buy food, use food. What do you see that doing for your company?
2 minutes remaining.
Okay, well, we believe that with that data collection, we can better understand what a household likes, their typical meals, what they're interested in, where they shop, what groceries they're using, and we think that's very valuable data that voluntarily, of course, should they choose to give that out, we can provide that to grocers and delivery services and recipe sites so they can better understand who they're targeting.
Do you guys have any estimate of the amount of waste that people have right now in their pantries where every 6 months or so they just clean it out as a way of offsetting the cost of the app?
No, sir, but I understand that a lot of families have a lot of waste because I live with Sarah Smith, and it seems like we have to clean our pantry every day.
So you guys, your app interface and what you showed on the screen has evolved a lot. What do you think is the biggest technical challenge? Like what's the hard part of the features to build, or do you feel like it's kind of already done?
Definitely scanning in products because the computer vision, at this point in time, the technology for it is rapidly advancing. Amazon has an API for it, Instagram does it, Snapchat does it, but it'll be kind of hard for us to acquire that, which is why we're looking at developing or working with APIs. The APIs are going to cost us about $28,000 of that $96,000. So as you can see, it's kind of costly, but we believe that the rewards definitely outweigh the costs.
And when you, okay, I understand taking the inventory and putting the inventory into the app. And how do you see taking it out? Because I don't see Chad doing either one of those.
Can you repeat the question, sir?
How do you delete from your inventory? So if I take 3 things out of my pantry, do I have to snap on every one of those?
Yeah, so there will be a feature where you can quickly go into your inventory and take out items that you need, and obviously the inventory will automatically update as you use those ingredients.
Okay, and that's time up. Good job, bonsai chef. I need to learn how to cook too. Chad Guy. Was that his real name? All right, our next group. Let's see if they've got anything. All right. Group 4. It's called Attention Novelty. CHS students Gabe Hawkins, Brian Nearson, and Camden McNair. Attention Novelty.
Hello guys, thank you all for coming out tonight. And I want to give a big shout out to our mentor, Derek Shriver. If we could all give him a round of applause.
Hi guys, I'm Camden McNair.
Howdy, I'm Ryan Harrison, COO.
And I'm Gabe Hawkins. I'm CMO. And I want you all to picture this. Guys, seriously, cut it out. Look at your pens. That's super distracting. Alright, where was I? I want you all to picture this. Classroom full of 30 jittery, sleep-deprived high schoolers, all clicking their pens in unison. The noise is deafening. Now these kids are simply trying to accommodate their lack of focus by fidgeting with whatever they can find around them. But the act of clicking your pens, however, can be extremely distracting to your classmates. Now, losing focus during class is something that all three of us have struggled with throughout our time in high school. What we've come to realize is that there are very few available solutions that both keep you engaged, productive in your work, while not disrupting your classmates. Some current available solutions on the market are fidget toys such as the fidget spinner, fidget cube, and poppets. And while these work for some people, they're typically marketed towards children as with their flashy designs and cheap production. Another route that some people take are prescription medication, but this is simply too expensive for some people.
So our solution is the pin spinner. Watch that. The product that you are receiving right now is our most up-to-date variation. That's what we created with the supplies that we could use in the incubator classroom. So we've re-engineered the pen to incorporate a spinning function, allowing kinesthetic learners and others alike to maintain focus. The pen spinner is dual purpose and toggleable and captivating, all at the $12 price point. We want to make the pen spinner yours. Adding color gives options to the customer and makes it a unique buying experience. We believe this will help with the marketing and selling of the pen. At the beginning of the year, we started with just an idea, but throughout these last few months of the incubator classroom, we've developed this idea into many different variations and prototypes as y'all see above.
Here you can see plenty of whiteboards that we use over the course of the class to develop our idea and write down feedback.
From 3D printing to a class field trip at the Launchpad in UT Austin, we've honed in our skills and developed many new ones to grow our business to what it is today.
Alright, I'll be talking about the market of our product, and analysis of the business, and how the business will work to start selling our product, the pin spinner. So our sizable addressable market is San Antonio with a population of 1.5 million. 14% are the ages from 8 to 22, and 6% have ADHD, giving us possible buyers of 12,500. Applying this to Texas, our total addressable market gives us a possible buyers of 270,000. All these numbers are based off the Texas Census Bureau, and these numbers will help the business scale over time and help us reach broader markets in the future.
So let's talk some financials. So based on a $12 price point and 12,500 potential buyers in our San Antonio market study, we get a potential revenue of $150,000. Taking away the cost of goods sold, the marketing, and the startup costs, we get a net profit of $108,750. All of that being said, our company believes that we can benefit from the patenting and licensing route. And so once we're done with our prototyping, we'd like to start this process. It would require a patent attorney, a patent application, and a decent amount of paperwork that would hopefully give us the utility patent we need to license with a major pen company in the United States.
Alright, so our target market is students the ages from 8 to 22. On average, we anticipate that parents of the students will be buying the pen for them. We also target pretty much anyone with a lack of focus, which is those with ADHD or ADD. We also have specialists who prescribe treatments to ADHD. So now for an analysis of our pen and our business. Some strengths that we have is our product has a high profit margin of 79%. It is also dual purposeful, encompassing a writing utensil with a spinning function. Some weaknesses though is complications with outsourcing, getting the necessary materials to create the spinning function of our product. Some opportunities though is this pen is extremely brandable. We can put a company name, logo, or tagline on the product and sell it to them for a minimum order quantity. This creates a quick return on investment as well as virality around the product. Some threats are is this market is extremely competitive, but we can combat that with dual purposeful and a nuanced product. So, through these 5 components, we can work to effectively sell the pen spinner. Number 1, branding. By growing our brand, we separate ourselves from other pen and fidget companies. This allows us to penetrate the market effectively. Number 2, unique. By providing a nuance to an already existing product, the pen, we can attract customers and showcase number 3, our values of providing an alternative to focusing in class. We can showcase these values, our product, and our brand on our 4th component, social media, where we plan to run Google, Facebook, and Instagram accounts that run adverts, showcasing our 5th and final component, our website and our direct-to-consumer. Our website encompasses the actual buying of our pen as well as other future attention novelty endeavors. Our direct-to-consumer encompasses reaching out to boutique and retail stores where we sell our pen for 50% the retail price for a minimum order quantity. Through all 5 of these components, we can effectively sell the pen spinner and get it in the hands of our customers.
Here's a mock-up of our website, and our website will help to create a more user-friendly buying experience for the customer, as well as allow us to have a platform to sell future products under the Attention Novelties brand. Here are some testimonials from school nurse Moreno, as well as a psychologist that frequently visits our school, and they felt that kids that suffer from focus problems and ADHD and ADD alike would benefit from our product.
So to kickstart Attention Novelties, we need the sum of $12,500. This money will give us enough to prototype and finish that process with the mold. Get enough for inventory, enough for the patenting process, and enough for a marketing campaign. We believe our company holds a lot of value and potential, and with your help, we can solve the problem that the 3 of us have experienced throughout our high school career. Thank you for your time, and success is in spin.
Great model there. All right, gentlemen, nice presentation. Judges, you have 5 minutes to ask your question.
So with the financials, when you were talking about the San Antonio target market, did that presume, like, what percentage of the available market was purchasing?
So that market was just ADHD kids, but we anticipate that it's going to be a broader market as it's pretty much anyone who uses a pen or has a lack of focus.
So the financials assume that the entire target market would purchase?
No, the target for the financials, we just put the $12,500 for our South School market.
And then, did you do any testing with that target market about the $12 price point?
We didn't technically do any testing with them, but we did ask students around, and we did interviews with them and just talked to students locally, and they all seem to agree with that price. It's a definitely competitive price for the different competitors that we have, so we think that it potentially could be taken down a little bit with a mold and outsourcing, but for now, that's what we have at.
So you presented 2 alternatives to bringing the product to market. One was direct to consumer, but then you also talked about a licensing deal with a big pen company. I think those are you talking about bringing it to market to prove concept and then get a licensing deal, or I was a little confused, I'm sorry.
Yes, sir. Just the boutique store and direct to consumer is more to get a proof of concept to show that we're worthy from a big company for the license.
these samples that you've given us, these are made on the 3D printer at school? How was that process for you, learning how to use the printer? And what did you learn from it?
I definitely think it was a unique process. We didn't know how to like model or 3D print at all, so we watched a bunch of YouTube videos, but it was just a cool process to learn how to like create it from the ground up and actually see it like work in the incubator.
And for the numbers that you put up for San Antonio, have you talked to somebody about manufacturing the pins for you?
Not quite yet, but I think after this we will definitely look into doing that.
So how did your team kind of define roles between each of you? Did you guys find that you had disagreements about ways to move forward, and how did you resolve those?
I guess we kind of just took what our skill sets were like good at, so I would say that I kind of took over like the production of it, and so that's why I had the pen slides and all that. And then I think Ryan's good at the whole like marketing category, and Gabe was good at setting the tone. He also has ADHD, and I think that's a problem that the three of us see that needs a solution.
2 minutes. Good. All right, our next group is a group of Champion High School students, Michael Williams, Tanner Goodell, and Asher Van Busberg, and this group is called Inverse Innovations.
Oh, hot box. Are you sure? I think they're called Inverse Innovations, and their item is called hot box. See, we got you there.
You were paying attention, though. Way to go.
All right, thank you all so much for being here. We are at Inverse Innovations. My name is Tanner Goodell, and I'm the CMO.
My name is Michael Williams. I'm the CFO. The CEO.
And we are all high school students. At this high school specifically, along with many other high schools across the country, we don't have any lockers, so we have to bring our bags to every class with us. Let's take a look at the reality of the situation for us. So as you can see, our bags can create quite a problem for us. If you walk into any classroom in our school, you'll see bags propped up against desks, against chairs. It causes tripping hazards, it folds our papers and causes our bags to be disorganized and causes our bags to get stepped on and smushed.
So we created the bag box, a backpack insert that once placed inside helps keep the bag up, helps keep the bag standing straight, while also alleviating some of the tripping hazard issues.
So we conducted a number of surveys with potential buyers in our school. We found out that 80% of girls wanted their bags to be more organized, while only 40% of guys did the same thing. We also found that about 90% of all students bring their bags to every class, and 70% prop their bags against their desks or their chairs. So with that, we'd like to narrow down our target market and mainly focus on female students, and then more neat and organized students in general, as well as teachers. We can ask the teachers if they could tell their students about it, get it on their syllabuses, because the problem exists for them too. In the future, we'd also like to look at retailers, see if we can sell to them, get our product in school supply stores and college bookstores. So our priority customers are going to be Abigail and John. Abigail, she's a student. She's very mindset of a good study. She's very school-oriented, so she carries her binders, her textbooks, her notebooks in her backpack. While John, on the other hand, he's an athlete, so he'll carry his change of clothes, his change of shoes in his backpack. And both these customers can find use out of our product.
So our prototypes. Our first prototype we actually made out of cardboard just to see if this would actually work. And the second prototype that you judges have there, that we actually had 3D printed with the engineering department to actually test our idea. And here's a short video of the mechanics. Tanner's bringing you our next prototype here, which is prototype number 1, the bag box. We actually went down to a plastic supply company in San Antonio to actually get that acrylic plastic and those acrylic hinges. We actually fabricated that ourselves in the classroom. And here's a short video of it actually popping open in your bag. As you can see, it's very hassle-free, and all of your stuff easily fits inside.
So with this first prototype, I gave this to my classmate Wyatt, and he tested it for us for about a week. He loved it. He said he would use it again. His biggest issue with it was that he wanted it to be adjustable. He's a very school-oriented student, so he has 2 big binders, and he uses different binders for his A day and his B day, so with different amount of stuff. And he wanted that variability between the days.
So we built prototype number 2. The white bars there, that was actually 3D printed in the engineering department as well to give it that adjustability. And we found that Home Depot actually sold acrylic plastic in large sheets, significantly cutting down our costs.
So this prototype I gave to my friend Anna. She tested it for about 3 days. She had a little bit more trouble with it because those adjustability bars made the product less likely to stand up than the prototype with the hinged sides. Also, the adjustability mechanism we did use with those zip ties was kind of a hassle for her, but it did keep her bag up. So with that information in mind, we decided to focus our efforts on the first prototype with those hinged sides. We wanted to keep in mind that the customer wanted variability, so we wanted to make 3 different sizes. We measured about 30 different bags throughout the school and found out that 5, 6, and 7 inches were the most common bag sizes. We'd like to mainly focus on making 5-inch sizes because we know that with that smallest size, it's guaranteed to fit in every size bag. In the future, however, we could sell the 6 and 7 inches at a premium price. We did want to keep in mind that making 3 different sizes could create a higher cost for us, so we wanted to find a cheaper solution that would still give the customer that variability.
So we're also developing the bag end. It's a bookend-like bag insert that easily slides in your bag, and the actual contents of your bag helps it to stand up. And as you can see, it significantly cuts off on actual cost because of the ability of the use of actual product.
So right now, our competitors consist of hard bottom backpacks. They're pretty expensive, ranging from $90 to $120. They're also primarily used for contract work like construction jobs, and they're not that name brand that we're looking for like Nike and North Face. But then we have purse organizers, a lot cheaper, from 15 to 30, but they just don't have that structural support we're looking for. So our total addressable market, there are about 330,000 high school students here in San Antonio. 50% of that number is female, and if we could sell to 50% or 15% of those students, that would give us 25,000 students. As well as their serviceable addressable market, there are 9,600 students here in BISD. If we were to sell to the 50% female here, that would give us 2,400 students.
So our cost of goods sold, we actually went to BJ Molding here in Bernie. And so the mold cost for the bag box itself would be $30,000, and the cost of the product would be $3 a piece. The cost of the mold for the bag end would be $15,000, and the cost of the product would be $2 a piece.
So with those numbers in mind for our cost of goods sold and our TAM and our SAM, we're looking at what we hope to get a target price of $14.99 for our bag box and $9.99 for the bag end. With those 2 different products, if we could reach our SAM number for year 1, with the bag box, we'd nearly make a profit with only being down $1,000, and the bag end, we'd be up about $4,000. If we hit that same SAM number for 10 years in a row, we'd be looking at a profit of about $257,000 for the bag box and $176,000 for the bag end. So for our marketing, we'd like to start small, just in our school community in BISD. We can talk to classmates, talk to teachers, and then talk to some influencers within the school community to really get our product out there. And then in the future, we have our Instagram, our TikTok, a GoFundMe, and a website domain to reach our broader audience. And then to keep that website domain going, it's going to be about $14 a month. So here's a quick snapshot of our Instagram page currently. And then here's our basic wireframe for our website.
So for the future of Inverse, we'd like to start to explore kind of different demographics. People who use backpacks for traveling or in the business area. We'd also like to look into patent protection, as this is one of the only in the market. We'd like to kind of protect ourselves as a lot of knockoffs will be made. And also we'd like to kind of continue prototyping and testing, like refining the back end.
Thank you so much for your time. From Slants to Straight.
Excellent presentation, gentlemen. I guarantee you that is exactly what happens in my classroom with the bags every day. So, good idea. Judges, you have 5 minutes to ask questions beginning now.
So when you listed your profit margin over 10 years, was that an aggregate? Like if you'd make $250,000 over the 10-year period or $250,000 a year?
The 10-year period, that was aggregate, yes. If we sold that same amount for 10 years, that would be our total in the 10 years.
And that just covered cost of goods sold and marketing, but not payroll, salaries?
Correct, yes. But it's also not taking into consideration the traction we would get and the more sales we would get. That'd just be if we sold the same amount for 10 years.
Did, in your target market, did you, when you came up with the numbers, were you only targeting females in your calculation?
Yes, sir. For our initial market, we were.
Is there a reason for that?
Just so we can get our base number. So if we got the minimum amount of people we wanted to hit, that would be our base amount. And we made a profit with even those numbers. So if we could hit other students as well, we could make more profits.
As you look at going into that target market, how do you anticipate really getting that traction? Is it all social media, or would you have other outlets to make it visible?
Yeah, I think mainly we'd be targeting social media. I think just with that video, it's eye grabbing to see that the bags fall. It's relatable. TikTok and Instagram, we can get a lot of traction on there and sell directly to the customers.
So today, how many books y'all carry per day?
I usually carry a lot, as I have an A-Day and a B-Day folder.
So as our future progresses, I see books being less and less in the classroom. How would you project out your longevity of this product?
That's how we're saying we're going to like to also look into more of the business routes as well, with the business and the travel as well, to help go along with the other industries.
And I think, so the textbook-wise, that is decreasing, going more towards computers and tablets. But you still need to carry those, as well as we get just papers from our teachers. We get filled with notebooks and binders of just loose papers.
So what do you think the next step is with your prototype? Can you talk about kind of this variation that we have on our table versus the one that's made out of the acrylic?
So that was just just to see how the design could work. That was actually before that we built the acrylic. So the acrylic is our actual is more of a final of what the actual product will look like. But we still haven't perfected that idea yet. So we're still actually prototyping with that too.
2 minutes remaining.
So the acrylic seems awfully heavy. Did you get any feedback on the weight that it added to the bag, or have you considered maybe using a different product?
Yes, so actually in the molding itself, it is a different plastic that's used. I believe it's called ABS. So that's a much lighter plastic itself. So it won't actually be made out of this plastic.
And then my final question, have you considered, since this is kind of an open space that you're moving into as far as product goes, and it's fairly inexpensive, have you considered adjusting your margins to where you can actually be profitable sooner than later?
Yes, we have considered it. We haven't decided fully exactly what we want to do. Just with more market research and stuff, we'd like to improve on that.
I'd imagine they pay more.
Yes. Yes.
Can you talk a little bit more about your market strategy? Like how are you going to grow views? What kind of
once we reach our base numbers that we want to hit, we'd like to get our product in retail stores, like spread out in the country. So you can get it on Amazon even, or online stores. That way it's not just us selling directly to the customers.
With your testing, any sense of what the durability of the product is?
That one's been tested for actually quite a long time since we built it. I know Tanner, he's actually been carrying that around since the product was built, so it hasn't broken yet.
Yes, sir. It's very durable, and the molding as well was we felt samples from the molding company, and theirs was just as durable and even lighter.
That's 5 minutes.
Excellent. Good job, gentlemen. All right. Our next and final group that'll be pitching for funding tonight is a group of students from Champion High School, actually two, Lyle Rideout and Shannon Brewer, and Run Tree.
Good evening, everyone. We are Runtree, and we are developing tools to motivate runners to achieve their goals. My name is Lila Rideout, and I'm the Chief Marketing Officer.
And I'm Shannon Brewer, I'm the Chief Design Officer.
So Shannon and I have both been a part of the Champion Cross Country and Track team for 4 years now. Because of that, we spent countless hours and miles running at the Burma City Park. So pictured here is a tree at the park that has become really special to our team, a symbol of friendship, hence the name Run Tree, as it has inspired our name. And although Lyle and I are both high school runners, our running journeys actually started just down the street at Burning Hills South. We've obviously progressed a lot since this picture was taken, both as people and as runners, and nowadays Lyle and I are in both very different places in terms of our running journeys. For me personally, I'm running 35 miles a week. I'm taking my running pretty seriously. I want to make sure that everything that's going into my running is my best foot forward. I'm definitely not running 35 miles a week. I'm actually coming off a long hiatus from running, and so I really want something that can just help me visualize my goals and keep me accountable to actually continue running. And so Lyle and I are obviously very different runners, and we have very different ideas of how we want to track and achieve our goals. And so here lies the problem: how can we find a product that suits both of our needs? And so our company, Runtree, is taking kind of a new approach to fitness tracking. Our goal is to create a suite of running journals that all have different personalities so that we can reach all different types of runners, from beginners to elites. And so our journals will contain pages such as these, and these are just elements that are important not just for runners, but for all kinds of athletes to track and look back upon the data to get better for the future. So what is the current market? There are 60 million runners in the US, and 11 million of these runners are young people, which is our main target demographic. In 2019, the journal industry itself was evaluated to be worth about $11 billion, and we are just seeking to enter into a small part of this. 1 in 6 people are also active journalers, and over half of these people are women, which is again part of our main target demographic. We also do need to address the fact that many runners have watches that connect to apps that can track similar things that our journals do. However, these are passive systems. The watch records the data for you, it puts it into the app, and being runners, we have both found that we never really look at the app, we never really look at the data, and so when that happens, you can't learn from the data if you're not looking at it. And so the unique thing about journaling is that you are finding the data yourself, you're recording it, and that makes it a more motivating and holds you accountable to actually continue to achieve those goals. So our total addressable market is runners of all ages in the United States, and our serviceable addressable market is female runners aged 13 to 23. Reason being, the two of us fall into this group of people, so we really understand how to feasibly reach them and what they want. So on one end of the scale, you have Molly. Molly is an avid college runner. She's running 40 miles a week, training for her weekly basis. And she's about 19 years old, so she falls into our serviceable addressable market. And then on the other end of the scale, you have Tammy. Tammy is going to yoga class twice a week, but she wants something a little bit more serious, which is that running journey. She's a little bit older, in her early 30s, so she falls into our total addressable market. Here we have our first prototype we made. How we put this together is we just put together some really simple templates online. We printed them out, stapled them together, handed them out to 5 of our high school teammates and 5 of our teammates who are now college runners. From there, they used these prototypes for 1 week, and then at the end of the week, we interviewed each of them to get feedback. What we found is that they liked different parts about the journal. Some of them liked the pages that were really open, really gave you the chance to make it your own and do what you want with it. But others didn't. They wanted the pages that were structured, organized, really gave you instruction on what you were doing. So then we made our first Amazon journal. How we got introduced to Amazon is by working with a company called Paper Candy Press. They're the #1 journal publishing company on Amazon today. And just to give you an idea of their success, they sell over 1 million journals per year, so they have a pretty good idea about what they're doing with their journal company. So they introduced us to something called Kindle Direct Publishing. This is Amazon's publishing program for journals. So here we created our first journal. It's called the Kate Journal. The idea with our company is that each journal has its own personality. For example, this journal is super bright, colorful. As you can see, the pages are super open. We have the mileage log, the food log, and then also the calendar and the sleep log. So we named this journal the Kate Journal off of our teammate Kate. That reminds us of her personality. So here we have a user example of the Kate Journal. As you can see, this is pretty filled out. This person was very diligent about filling in all their day-to-day information about their running. And this journal is clearly being used to not only motivate them, but make them a better runner as they go on.
So as Val briefly touched upon, our primary mission as a company is to really ensure that any customer who comes to buy a journal can find one that really fits their personality and will be motivating and fun for them to fill out. So as we just mentioned, we have our first journal, the Kate Journal, and I'm about to talk about our second journal, which is the Josie Journal right there. And then we also plan to publish at least 3 more journals, again, with all different kinds of personalities and structures and designs, so that we can reach all of those different types of customers. So this is our second journal, the Josie Journal. It actually published on Amazon this morning, and we have already sold over 50 copies of it. And so we learned a lot from the Kate Journal, and in doing so, we were able to cut down the price on Amazon of this journal to $12.99. We also cut the journal almost in half to 149 pages. And as you can see, the inside of the Josie Journal is extremely different from the Kate Journal. It's much more mature, it's much more refined, it's much more structured. And again, this is just to reevaluate that premise that we want to reach different types of people who might want to track their progress in different ways. So we are not the only running journals on Amazon. These are the insides of the 3 top sellers on Amazon currently. And I don't know about you, but when I see these insides, I think boring, I think tedious, and I think honestly intimidating, especially if I'm a beginner runner. I think this would scare me away. And not only that, but you can get our Josie Journal, which you just saw, for almost $10 less than all 3 of these journals. So our primary marketing strategy is through social media. Reason being, that group of female runners aged 13 to 23 are on Instagram all day, every day. So because of that, we created an Instagram account at the Run Tree. On this account, we post pictures of our journals that we're publishing, the insides, as well as the personality that each one has. And then in our bio is a link to our Amazon page that they can actually buy the products. Also through Amazon, we're reaching out to influencers. On the left, you see Colleen Quigley. She has actually already agreed to advertise our product. She's a very established runner, and much of her following base is a part of our target market. And then on the right, you see our sample future targets. We have Andy Van Meter and Emily Cole. They're both D1 college runners. Again, they both have a big following except on TikTok, much of which is our target market. So for journal financials, we have the Kate Journal. It's listed at $21.99. The printing cost was extremely high at $11.25. Amazon takes $8.80 out, so we make a final profit of $1.94 for each journal. The problem with the Kate Journal is that it had 288 pages. This is not only too much for Amazon and the printing costs, but it's way too much for the customer. It's too intimidating. So because of that, we halved it and created the Josie Journal that has 149 pages. It's sitting at a list price of $12.99. The printing cost was $2.60. Amazon takes out $5.21, so we make a final profit of $5.18. And it's important to note that with our journals, we break even the second we sell one journal. So this is our projected revenue for the first year, and again, this is based off of the Josie Journal because we are assuming we can sell more of those due to the lower cost. And so we projected this based off of a 10% increase in sales each month. And as you can very obviously see, there are two spikes in this graph. So the first one is in August, and we included that to account for the start of cross-country season, as we predict that that is when most of our target market will be buying our journals. And then again, you see another spike in January, and that is for not only Christmas gifts, but New Year's resolutions. And then this is our 3-year projected revenue. This is again based on a 10% increase in sales each month. And then we also included a 50% return rate. So assuming that our customers buy a journal and use it for a year until it runs out, we're assuming that 50% of those customers will return again to buy another one. So in addition to our marketing, in order to gain traction, we are creating an app. So basically the app will direct the customer to our website where they can see all of our journals. So here's the home page of the app. It kind of just tells you what you'll be doing, and as you go to the next page, it has different categories for pages in your digital journal you can make. So you have the mileage, the races, nutrition, and sleep. All these things go into your running. So for example, if I check the mileage icon, it takes you to this page. And as you scroll, there are different options of pages you can include in your journal. These designs come from the paperback journals that we print, so that becomes your option. So what's next for running? We want to explore additional publishing opportunities other than Amazon by October, and then we also obviously just want to work on our next journal. That's an ongoing goal as a journal company. And then the last 3 are accelerating with investment. We're estimating $2,500 for enhancing social media marketing. This is reaching out to those influencers. We're also estimating $2,500 for digital and marketing event capabilities. So for example, the AIDS Silent 5K has already agreed to let us host a booth there and sell our journals to those runners. And then finally, we're estimating $8,000 to $10,000 for the creation of our app. Thank you for listening. We'll now take questions.
Okay, judges, you now have 5 minutes to ask your question.
As a fan of the cross-country team, I love the nod towards your teammates. Well done, ladies. So when you guys are thinking, how in your marketing do you differentiate your journal? Like, how do you tell somebody what the actual competitive differences are between the two?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I believe that us ourselves, we are runners, so we really have great insight into the running community and what those people want. So reaching out to people like those influencers, I think we really understand how to reach them, what to do, and also just how to get the right feedback in order to make our journals better. So I just think we have insight into that.
You've got a really neat product, and visually, I like it a lot, and especially when you compare it to other products that are out there. How do you gain traction on social media? Because I follow you guys, your product on Instagram, and how do you gain traction there? What's your plan?
I do think that's something that comes with time and experience, and as we post more, we do gain credibility on Instagram, and as we produce more journals, we gain more customers, we gain more followers, and again, we are pursuing those social media opportunities. Colleen Quigley has 250,000 followers on Instagram. She's agreed to shout out our Instagram and also link our journal in an Instagram story. And so I do think that pursuing those marketing opportunities on social media will also help us gain traction.
So my final question, a good portion of the journal is nutrition and things of that nature. Any plans for a journal other than running?
Yeah, so we do have plans for that. We think that a journal other than running could be other sports, or we we also hope to build on the running journals and create them for like certain race plans, like a marathon journal. But yes, we do have plans for other journals other than running. Example, like the Paper Painting Press company that we worked with, they sell all types of journals. They have everything from wedding planners to books for kindergartners to trace the letter A. So that's kind of our plan.
So I'm actually, I said final question, but I like it. I'm actually a fan of journaling. And in a world where everything is happening so quick and everybody's pulling out their smartphone, I'm sure you have thought about how journaling fits in this world. And if I can just get your comments on that.
Yeah, I think that was one of our main motivations in choosing a paperback journal. I think there's just a certain personability about it, being able to, write down your own things and record them and be able to go look back at them. And yeah, just like we said, like just being able to make it your own in a way that technology, you just can't really do it in that way. It's also like when you're young, you have a diary, a lot of girls do, and it's kind of just like, it's special to you, it's personal. The app is, things on technology can't do the same thing. Writing is therapeutic, it's really personal to the owner.
So to that point, why the app? It was a shift that I wasn't able to bridge with you. I really liked the product and the journaling concept, but are you cannibalizing it with the app?
So our intention with the app was not really to be like, oh, some people don't want to journal, so we'll make the app. Our intention with it was more to kind of boost our actual journal company, and our ultimate goal with the actual app is for the customer to kind of really design their own journal and make it their own, and then boost that with our sales to where they could actually print the journal that they designed themselves, and that would also just really enhance the customability, personability that we're trying to really push with our product.
Being the big runner I am to the kitchen. I like the way the book looked as well. I thought it was looked really cool, it wasn't very intimidating. But when I'm thumbing through it, I see like the foods grouped together, and then this was grouped together, and you saw food again, and I couldn't quite figure the book out, and I was looking for instructions.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I think, so the first journal, we did not know a ton going into publishing the first journal, hence like the 288 pages, that's way too much. So yeah, the first journal was more of a test run than anything. Going forward, our advertisement will primarily be for those journals. So yes, we do like the first journal, and that's when you have in front of you because the Josie Journal is not published in time to give you. Yeah, going forward, the other journals will be different, where each day is grouped together so you can fill it all in like this.
And that's time. Really? 35 miles a week, really? Oh, wow. That is a young lady who has watched a lot less Netflix than I have. All right, judges. All right, it's all on you. You have a tough decision to make. And we're going to give you a little bit of time to gather all your thoughts, go through all your notes, and make this evening a success. And while we do that, we'll ask another group here to come out that is not pitching for funding, but rather is the backbone behind the funding that we are talking about tonight. So let's welcome Fireworks Funding.
We're about to present something to you that has never been presented before. We're Fireworks Funding. I'm Valerie Miller, the CEO.
I'm Barbara Corchado, the CFO.
And I'm Ariana Greenlee, the CMO.
What is the Incubator program?
The Incubator program was designed to help high school students determine the behind the scenes of creating a business as well as learning how to create a business. Fireworks Funding hasn't always been our first idea. As y'all know, we've had many ideas such as a water catching goggle,
a farmer's market app,
and a t-shirt company. As we know, all of those are already on the market.
So we thought to ourselves, what is the problem we're trying to fix? And then we realized our problem is right in front of us. Our problem is that the school district graciously gives us this class with a teacher, but funding is not included. And in order for our class to succeed, funding is needed. The funding is used for prototype creation and tonight's pitch night. In order to fix our problem, we decided, in order to solve our problem, we decided we needed to go out into the community. Oh no. Okay. In order to solve our problem, we decided we needed to go out into the community. We went out into the community and met individuals like you and organizations like you who shared our values and wanted to see us succeed.
We set our goal due to the fact that our program is growing exponentially, thus causing more projects and student groups to be created. Not to mention, next year's classes will soon need that funding for next year. This led us to our final goal of $40,000. $40,000? That's a lot. That's a lot. In order for us to achieve our goal, we had to go out into the community. When we were in the community, we learned several important things for ourselves. We learned how to make cold calls, create meetings, present in front of large groups, and the correct business attire. Turns out those jeans up there are not correct business attire. As my father would say, Valerie, your jeans look like they met the chainsaw. But we were overwhelmed with how much the community wanted to help us. Paul Ramey said, "You can't win if you don't try," and that was true. We knew that we couldn't get this funding if we didn't try. These are just a couple quotes from some of our donors who wanted to help us out, and we're grateful for these people. Without further ado, we have the honor to tell y'all tonight's total. Are we ready? We have raised a whopping Wait 1 second. We have a special surprise for y'all. As of a couple hours ago, our total has increased by 1,000, so we are proud to say that we have raised $41,400 for this growing program. We could not have done this without you. All the individuals and organizations standing and sitting in the crowd right now, y'all are what put us here. Y'all are the people that make our incubator program our program, and we thank y'all for that. With that being said, we would love it if you could help us kick off the funding for next year. Please refer to the information on the screen to donate for next year's program. Thank you so much, and we appreciate y'all.
Fundraising and some strong commitment right there. And whatever happened to those jeans, who knows? It wasn't really, I don't think it was really a chainsaw. All right, judges, you've got 10 minutes. We're going to give you 10 minutes to pour over your decisions. We're going to take a 10-minute intermission. And in the meantime, I think we got some bloopers to watch to fill the void.
I
the